So, good morning, everybody, and thanks to everybody who had a hand in inviting me here, and thanks to all of you who took the trouble to come. It is just amazing to see all these old friends and new friends. So I look forward to sitting and talking and having a chance to hear what's going on in the world. I also just have to say it's just amazing to come to Singapore and see such a vibrant community. It reminds me in a little way of my favorite city, Zurich in Switzerland, and the ETH, the Eidgenössische Technische Hochschule, what was originally just a technical engineering college, which has grown into a world-class university. And the same thing happening here. It's a similar situation. You have a very poor and small country with people who have to work hard to make a living and just have made an enormous success of things. And I just congratulate Singapore and congratulate all of you for doing such a wonderful job. I must apologize for talking about a technical subject. I wanted to talk about my own field and about real science, not just philosophizing. So it'll all be equations, and for those who don't enjoy equations, I invite you to go and enjoy a cup of coffee outside. So here are some citations of the literature. It all starts with this wonderful paper of Bohr and Rosenfeld in the year 1933, which was a very famous piece of work in which Bohr, this was the finest example of Bohr's style. It's a very, very long and complicated argument written in very long and convoluted German sentences, and the unfortunate Rosenfeld had to write it all down 14 times before Bohr was willing to let it go to be published. So it went through 14 versions. And so the title was On the Question of the Measurability of the Electromagnetic Field Strengths. And it's the foundation of this field of quantum electrodynamics. It's the paper in which Bohr found the precise physical basis for the quantum treatment of electromagnetism, showing that just if you had electromagnetic waves interacting with material objects, and then if the apparatus behaved the rules of quantum mechanics, then the rules of quantum electrodynamics were then a necessary consequence. That is what Bohr and Rosenfeld established. So what I'm trying to do today is to discuss the same problem for gravitation. That's where this all starts. So how about gravitation? Is it in fact like electrodynamics? In electrodynamics, of course, we have the classical theory of Maxwell, and we have the quantum theory which started with Einstein, the theory of the photon, which is the particle of electromagnetism. And the two things, the classical and the quantum picture, are linked together by this subject which is called quantum electrodynamics. Does the same thing hold for gravity? That is the big question which we don't yet know to answer. And there's been a great deal of talk, a great deal of philosophizing, and not very much detailed science, and I shall try to talk about the detailed science today.